Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. So we are up bright and early this morning, and well, what we're planning on doing is sway bars and end links and coilovers on this car in today's video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. It's gonna be a fun video. I've done a lot of work to this car already, and now we get to do more work to it. So y'all guys sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video, and I will see y'all at the end of it. And just like that, front sway bar's out. Just gotta put the new one in. Can we just take a second to look at the beef difference between After Dark Speed's front sway bar and the stock front sway bar? Like, I don't know if y'all guys can grasp how thick and girthy this girl is right here compared to the stock one. I can't wait to show y'all the back one. The back one is like this big compared to this one. So super excited to get these sway bars on. Huge shout out to After Dark Speed. Thank you for sending me these out. They will be linked in the description. Anything C5, C6, C4 Corvette that you need parts for, he's got it. Sway bars, end links, all complete bushing set, like pretty much anything suspension wise for race car or Corvettes, this is the guy to go to. He's located in Mooresville, North Carolina. And so far these sway bars that I'm seeing are already pretty beefy. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these new bushings on right here, put some grease on them, align the end links, and then we should be able to slap it in. So, sway bar, bushings, end links. I got them on, now we just got to put them in the car. Come on, creeper. I think I'm getting it. Took me a second to figure out the orientation of everything, but the passenger side's on, now I just got to do the driver's side. All right, well, we have the brand new After Dark Speed sway bar on the front, along with those brand new sexy end links. Those are attached as well, all tightened up. And now that the front ones are on, don't mind me, I'm just covered in Corvette again. It's awesome, I'm really loving this car. I also have to do a power steering fluid change box, wires, lines thing, because I have a bad leak, so that'll be coming in the next few days. Front sway bars in, and links are on. Now let's go to the back and do the exact same thing, but this time BC Racing sent me the correct dampener that I need, so now I'm getting to show you how to build coilovers and put the coilovers in the back. If I don't get to it tonight, I will be doing it tomorrow afternoon. My goodness, look at all of that. Look at all of this. For those of you that say that this is condensation from airplanes, I'm just gonna go ahead and let y'all know condensation doesn't stay in the air that long, and it definitely doesn't spread. You see how it's coming out of the plane nice and fine? Well, then it spreads into that, and then before you know it, we'll have clouds tomorrow. So that's not condensation, people, that's chemicals. And if you don't believe me, open your brain. Anyways, to the rear to do coilovers and sway bars. If I don't finish it today, I'll finish it tomorrow. So, see you at the ass side. Alright, so in order to do rear coilovers on a Corvette, you first have to take that shock off right there, and then once that shock's off, then you have to take the leaf spring off, which is right down underneath there, and then once all that's done, then you can put the coilover in and all that fun stuff. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take that shock off. Pretty much you just gotta get you a big old gun and a big old socket. This is a 15/16. Come up in here with a damn adjustable, say a prayer. Cool, wasn't recording, but got the old shock out. It's here, that's been in the car for 20 odd years. So now I gotta take the leaf spring out that I was telling you about. That's gonna be pretty hard to do underneath the car, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll pick you up once that's out, and then coilovers go in, and then sway bar, and we should be done. As you can see, what used to have a leaf spring is no more. That's because it's sitting right there. Now, the sun, as you can tell, is going down, which is quite unfortunate for me because the car is up and lifted, and I will not be taking it back down tonight because I have to finish this. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up all this stuff, and I'll see y'all tomorrow when the sun is rising. Well, now that the party's gone, I get to work on this car. Told you I'd see y'all when the sun rising, and it's about 10 a.m. now. all my parents, my brother, all of my parents, well, my parents and my brother and all my parents' friends just decided to go for a bike ride since it's gonna be 90 degrees today. So if y'all guys see me come out of this tank top, that's because it came out to be 90 degrees outside. Take a look at this. That was pretty cool. That was just straight pollen that fell from the sky in one night. All right, so see how I can spin the shock freely? That's not what you want. You want to tighten up this bottom one till you can't spin the shock freely anymore. So, give me a second. So, now that the shock doesn't spin, tighten up this bottom collar, just like that. And now that that's tight, what you want to do is you want to tighten up the shock with your coilover key until you have a gap where your tool fits in between it, just like that, and that's your preload, ready to go. So then, you just tighten this one up, get two of them, tighten these two together, and then this one down here, this one is actually your ride height. So if you want the car to go higher, you extend it out. If you want the car to go lower, you suck it in. So, probably gonna go ahead and put the coilovers in the middle suspension area. That way I have plenty to go down and plenty to go up. Slap them in the car, see how the ride height is. If it's too high, I'll lower it back down. If it's too low, I'll raise it back up. Super simple. I'm gonna do the preload on this other one, and then we'll slap them in. All right, so now that I have the coilovers adjusted correctly, I went ahead and measured this distance, which was 3 inches, so then I just cut it in half and put this stopper at 1.5 inches. That way I have plenty of room to go up or down. And then this right here is your dampening. You have hard over here, and then you have soft. So you have 30 degrees of dampening, at least for these coilovers. Some you could have 15, some you could have 60, some you could have 30. It all just depends on what type of coilover you have. These have 30, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the middle. So what you do is you find one all the way to the edge, you click it once, and then you just count to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15. All right, so now that's not too hard, that's not too soft, that's kind of right in the middle. So without further ado, let's put them in the car. All right, well, I got the first coilover in. Wasn't too hard to do. I just had to suck it all the way in, make it really small, and then use the jack and compress it. But I got the bottom side in. Let's go ahead and get the bolt through so I don't stop dealing with it. All right, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm pretty much just gonna spin this thing, hopefully, pretty easily, until I find my notch that I made on the actual dampener. That way I know where the half mark is, and then I'll tighten everything up, put this tire on, go to the other side, do the exact same thing, and see what my ride height is. Pretty simple, not too hard to do, just time consuming, and learn as you go. Got the jack lifted up. All I gotta do is put these two bolts in the top. You know how to do coilovers, I would assume, and if you don't, I don't know why you're watching me to learn, but hey, I'll teach you something. I just don't know if it'll be right or not. All right, well, this coilover's on. I do have the bottom of it loose because I don't want to tighten it up yet, so let's go to the passenger side and put that coilover in. Woo! Let's see if this one goes in with less trouble. Let's also make sure that my dampening's correct. Are you gonna be nice to me and get in here just as easy as your brother did? Huh, you went in there better than your brother. Thanks for that. All right, so now that the coilovers are on, I'm not gonna go ahead and put the tires on yet. I'm gonna go ahead and do the sway bars, get that knocked out, and then ride height will be the very last thing that we do. So, without further ado, let's head to the sway bar section. Right, well, I so far got the end links off, which were kind of a pain in the ass to get off because they were 20 years old. So I got the end links off. Now I just got most of the bolts off the sway bar off. Now I should just pop right out. Just got to take this one off right here. And hopefully she'll slide right out just like that. So I have to keep these. These are the mounting brackets. Let's show you the difference between stock and After Dark Speed sway bars. So as you can tell, a pretty big difference if you ask me. I mean, that's every bit of probably an inch, if not more thicker. So, out with the old, in with the new. Let's not get grease everywhere. I went ahead and greased these bushings right here. That way they'll slide smoothly while they're inside there. And for the end links, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them on the middle. As I was saying yesterday, the more in you bring it, the stiffer the car is. The more out you bring it, the more softer the car is. What I have to do first is I have to get these old end links off, measure them, make sure that they are the exact same size or somewhat close to it, and then put the new ones on here. That way there's not a lot of different geometry going on, and everything should ride smoothly. And then when I take it to go get it aligned, since I'm putting all of this stuff on, they should be able to adjust it here and there, fine tune everything. So I'm just getting the basics down. Let's measure these end links and get the sway bar on, and we're done. Well, we got to measure the ride height, but then we're done. Also, just a quick side note that I forgot to mention, but if your sway bar end links move this freely, it's time to get them replaced. They should be very stiff. You're like, can't even. It takes a lot of force to get these brand new ones to move. If yours are loosey-goosey, like a 35-year-old single mom, you should probably get that fixed. Let's see if I can get this in here and have y'all watch at the same time. Last one on the fronts, I had kind of a problem, but we'll see if I can, these plates gotta go right here, and then once those plates go there, these pretty much just slide right on. It'd be really cool if I had like a second person to help, but hey, I don't need that. Wow, back was way easier than the front. Front took me a good like 20 minutes to get it figured out. Now those are all done in, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten everything up on this side, and then I'll tighten everything up on the links. And then sway bars are done. After Dark Speed will be listed in the description below, so if y'all guys have a C5, C6, C7 Corvette that y'all guys are looking to get some aftermarket parts for, this is the guy to do it. I'm gonna tighten all this stuff back up, and then I will see y'all when we are adjusting the coilovers. Alright, well, according to my calculations, that's not terrible. I still have to drive it around, but I can't. It's about one finger on this side. I wonder what it is on this side. It's damn near almost exactly the same ride height. So that's always a plus when you kind of sort of know what you're doing, YouTube certified, and then it actually pays off. But like I said, I have to go drive it around, bounce it up and down, stop hard, accelerate hard, stuff like that to see where it actually levels to. But right now we have some Carolina swag going on. As you can tell, the front is much higher than the rear, so I'm either going to raise the rear up or lower the front. I'm not sure yet. I like the way the front rides right now, because when I first got this car, I would scrub on absolutely everything. It didn't matter what it was. And now that I've adjusted the front suspension, I haven't scrubbed on anything yet. Knock on wood. I'll see you after this test drive. All right, well, I just got back from the test drive, and man, let me tell you, it drives like a completely different car. I don't know if it's because of the coilovers or the sway bars, but it feels like my Miata did back in the day. It's just on rails now. Before, it had a lot of body roll back and forth. At high speeds, I'd try to jar it over into another lane, and it was just not happy. The whole car would start swaying. It got real sketchy at times, but the car is finished. Now I just need to wait on tires, and then I'm going to be doing a brake kit, because these brakes are trash. I will like put my foot to the floor, and then it'll pulse, and then it'll sink in even further, and I'm just, something's wrong. I gotta get it figured out. I'm gonna do steel brake lines and all that fun stuff on the front. And also, while I'm in there, I'm gonna need to figure out something to do about this, because this is that tape. I don't know if you guys saw it from the previous videos, but I don't know how to describe it, like roofing tape, I guess. But it's all underneath here, and it's pretty gross, and I don't like the way that it looks. So I'm gonna have to buy an ender fender well for that. The car did get lower just a little bit. I can't get past my knuckle now, so that's it lowered just a smidge. Let's see what this side did. This one's just almost a little bit lower. So I need to raise the rear up a little bit, and then I think I'm going to lower the front. Maybe? I don't know, man. That's 3 tight fingers. That's a little high. Maybe if I could just knock it down to 2 fingers. 2 fingers all around, I think, would probably be the best move. That way it's still low. It has enough rebound to compress. I'm not maxing it out riding on the ground, because then I'm just gonna scrape and break the damn subframe that I just got fixed. So I'm going to sit out here and raise the car up. I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out around all 4 corners, and I will see you when it's done. All right, well, I drove it around. It's disgusting all over again. It is the next day. I lowered the front, so now I can fit about 2 fingers in the front, and I also raised the back. Can fit about 2 fingers back here. I got it just about perfect all the way around. Everything looks good besides the disgustingness of the pollen. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you like the car content, make sure to leave it down in the comments. If you like truck content, that is on the way. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do so. That car is almost done. Just got to get tires on it and an alignment, and she's ready for the mountain. So we will see you on next Sunday. Thanks for watching. Peace.